China was probably one of the biggest impacts with the amount of inventions they made.
Let's talk about that.
Hello? Damn, this thing is strong, just like the Chinese invention of the watertight compartments for boats. The Chinese have invented lots of inventions that have affected modern ideas. Let's start with exploration and travel, with me, your host, Silas Sains. Thank you very much. And now to start off, let's talk about the compass. The Chinese made two types of compasses. The first had lodestone in the middle, and the second had a needle in the middle. The needle is more accurate, but earlier versions had lodestone, which is less accurate. The next item we'll be reviewing will be the watertight compartments that ships had built into them to make their hull sturdier so that they couldn't breach the boat. Speaking of water, we have the paddle wheel boat, aka Sanic boat. This little vehicle was made so people could travel faster on water, and it was mainly made for a river. We need to keep boats safe, so the Chinese invented the canal lock. The canal lock lowers and raises boats to prevent damage from any bridges. Lastly, about this topic, we have the arc-style bridges. This made bridges more stable and also have a flatter surface. Sliding on in to the next section, we will be talking about industry. First in industry, the Chinese invented paper making. The Chinese also invented woodblock printing to print ideas and things. Man, I could really use something to drink. Maybe some tea? Oh yeah, speaking of tea, the Chinese invented tea as medicine. Okay, I'm back with tea. Do you like my cup? It's made out of porcelain. Oh yeah, porcelain. The Chinese invented that too. You know that Daft Punk song called Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger? That reminds me of something else that the Chinese invented called steel.
The Chinese invented lots of items that were important to war, such as gunpowder, one of the key ingredients to firearms working. One example of this would be the cannon, which uses gunpowder to fire cannonballs at enemies. One of the most well-known firearms would be the rifle, which is still common in today's world. It fires bullets which could easily injure an enemy's body. Another weapon that China invented was the flamethrower. The name's pretty self-explanatory. It basically shoots fire. Moving on, next we have the handheld bomb, which was basically a grenade. This little catastrophe was used to cause explosions, but still small enough to easily be carried around. And then things really went south when the Chinese invented the large bomb, which was literally a larger version of the handheld bomb. The grenade and bomb weren't the only ones that exploded though. For our next weapon, we have the artillery shell. These things not only had range on their side since they were catapulted, but they also had lethality since they exploded after impact. The sound that would come from the explosion would also confuse enemies and terrify their horses. Fireworks were a big part of the Chinese since they believed that the noise scared away demons. Soon after inventing fireworks, China also invented rockets, which was another lethal explosive. Game cards were mainly made for entertainment purposes, such as playing poker. Paper money, one of the things that we still use today, was made by the Chinese as a simpler form of currency. The mechanical clock was a more precise and better version of the sundial and any other previously made clocks.
I thought we were friends. You gave me tetanus.